because that was a house we were married in. And if I'm leaving, then we both move on. I want the house sold.
On today's video, a gold digger demands her husband's house after just 6 months of marriage and ends up homeless instead. Subscribe and leave a comment. The following clips are shared for commentary, education, and discussion purposes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Your Honor, if I could, I'm here on behalf of my client, Mr. Joseph Tootle. We filed a complaint for absolute divorce in this matter. It's a very, very short-term marriage. The parties were just married in September of 2023. And what we have, Your Honor, is that the crux of this case, and really the only asset of this marriage, comes down to the parties prior to their marriage purchased a home at 1047 Yellow Creek Highway. My client put down a significant down payment on the home. Well, the down payment was put prior to the marriage, and the purchase was right after the parties married. The property is approximately between $700,000 and $800,000 home, has a significant mortgage on it. What we're asking, Your Honor, is for exclusive possession of the home. Mrs. Botnick, again, this is a short-term marriage. Mrs. Botnick has 3 children from prior relationships. In fact, she was with child at the time of the parties' marriage that is not my client's child. And she has just finished another custody matter with that child's father. And again, she's not contributing financially. They purchased a vehicle that she is driving, and we are asking that she and the children, and she's allowed her mother, Miss Carol Ledford, to move into the home also. So it's our request that she be ordered to vacate the premises, or in the alternative, given the fact that herself, her 3 children, and her mother are living there, that my client pays 1/6 and she pays 5/6 of all the expenses associated with the home.
All right, before we dive in, here's the setup. She's a single mom with 3 kids, no place to stay, and now she's trying to sell his house in divorce court. I'd say it was all well planned out, but let's keep watching.
The home, again, we're going to have an issue. The home has just been purchased. It's very unlikely that there's significant equity. She is not in a position, it's our claim that she's not in a position to buy my client out of the home or get the home refinanced into her own name. But she is not contributing, and she has now begun having extramarital relations, and as a result of that, we want her out of the house.
Parties were married September 4th, 2023. The home that they currently reside in was purchased, conveyed to both of them as husband and wife, Joseph Tootle and Jordan Botnick, by warranty deed executed September 26, 2023, recorded with the Register of Deeds September 29th, 2023. The approximate purchase price was $800,000. Makes a significantly higher income than Ms. Botnick. With respect to her children who live there, Mr. Tootle was fully aware that Ms. Botnick had children when they married, fully aware that they would be moving into the residence. And with respect to Ms. Botnick's mother, he agreed that she could move into the residence. Our position, Your Honor, is that the house is a marital residence. Mr. Tootle has significantly more income than Ms. Botnick, and we have filed before the court today is a motion to sell the marital residence, and we would propose that upon its sale, the net proceeds be paid into court, and then we can proceed with the divorce in that regard. But I would submit to the court there's no basis to grant Mr. Tootle exclusive possession of the marital home. Ms. Botnick's name is on the deed. It's a marital asset, and submit that she's entitled to reside there just as much as he is.
Fellas, mistakes like this happen all the time. He married her knowing she had kids from other men, no father figure, and nowhere to go. Red flags everywhere. But he thought marrying her would fix things. Worse, he put her name on his assets.
Raise your right hand, be placed under oath.
State your name, please, ma'am.
Jordan Lindsay Bachnick,
And Ms. Boddick, where do you work?
Envision Healthcare.
And what do you do for Envision Healthcare?
I'm an AP specialist.
And
Well,
what,
please scoot up a little bit towards that
Sorry.
microphone so we make sure it's picking
I'm
up.
an AP specialist,
and what does that mean?
accounts payable. I work for the same company as Joseph.
And what is your rate of pay?
22 an hour.
You work 40 hours a week,
Yes, ma'am.
and you have 3 children by how many different men?
3.
You're a damaged goods lady.
And how much child support do you get?
I get child support 1 kid and $697.
$697 for what child?
1 child, and I don't get child support from the other 2.
What child do you get the 190?
Sailor, the baby.
And who is Sailor's father?
Nick Ellis.
And that's your youngest child?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were in fact pregnant with Sailor at the time that you married?
No,
Or right after you had just had the child?
I just had him. He was born in June, and I got married in September.
Okay. You only married him for financial security?
No.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Did you threaten to throw yourself against the wall so that you could get an order of protection and kick him out of the house?
No.
You allowing your children to, have you allowed any of your minor children to operate any motor vehicle in and around the property?
I let my son drive down the driveway.
And he ran over shrubs and things, is that correct?
1 shrub.
And that's your 12-year-old or your 10-year-old?
I let my 10-year-old.
Your 10-year-old's driving a vehicle that caused some slight damage to the property, is that correct?
He drove down the driveway and ran over a shrub.
Do you allow your children to shoot arrows into the drywall of the
No.
home? You didn't sit there and videotape it and laugh
I
at it?
videotaped my son shooting an arrow into a cardboard box.
Not into the garage and damaging the property?
No.
Have you contributed to the house payment?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm paying for everything else.
What is everything else that you're paying for?
Groceries to stay in the house, and I pay for all my kids, groceries, clothes, and I filled out a form, basically showing what I do pay for.
Pay any of the utilities?
No.
Pay any insurance on the vehicle you're driving?
Yes.
You pay for your insurance
I pay for my insurance
and your vehicle?
on
What
my
kind of-
vehicle.
What kind of vehicle are you driving?
A Tahoe.
2021 Chevy Tahoe?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me get this straight. She's living in his house with her 3 kids and her mom, doesn't pay a single bill, doesn't help with anything, but takes care of only herself and the kids. Meanwhile, he's covering everything. Bro, that's not a relationship. That's being used.
And how much are the payments on that?
A little over 1,000.
Who's making those payments?
I am.
When did you start making those payments?
2 months ago. I've made 3 payments so far. So 3 months now.
When did you purchase that vehicle?
August 22nd of 23.
You acknowledge that the down payment on the home came from his separate funds, do you not?
Donna, I'm going to object. That calls for a legal conclusion.
I'm sorry?
I object. That calls for a legal conclusion as to what separate funds are.
I'll rephrase the question. Did you have any money when the contract was made on this house?
I had my own money.
How much did you have?
At the time, I don't recall how much I had.
Did you pay $160,000 down on this house?
I don't recall.
You know that your husband had money that he put down on this house that was not your money.
Right. After we were married, though, he paid money on the house.
And he paid for your attorney for your paternity actions too, didn't he?
He helped pay for my attorney with Nick.
Number one, I don't think it's relevant.
Now we're talking relevance instead of privilege.
Well, Judge, I think what a client pays an attorney and the third party pays it,
I understand your point, Mr. Odle. And again, we're talking economics of 2 people who have been married for a short period of time. You will be able to ask questions of him regarding any expenditures he's made. And my understanding is that these questions are being asked to demonstrate the financial contributions each of them have made to the household.
Please repeat the question.
Who paid for your attorney?
Joseph did.
Did you ask him to do that
He offered to help me out.
when you got sued?
I didn't get sued.
Did you file the paternity suit, or did Mr. Ellis sue you? Did you sue?
We
him?
agreed upon it. I didn't get sued.
He didn't file a petition against you,
Yes.
so you got sued.
Okay, I didn't know that was being sued.
Ask your husband for help in securing counsel for that, is that correct?
He offered.
Have you ever contributed anything to, other than paying for your children, food? Have you ever contributed anything to the mortgage, to the utilities, to the down payment on this house, or the payment of insurance or taxes on this house at all?
No, ma'am.
That's all.
She literally contributed nothing to that house, but still claims ownership just because he was foolish enough to add her name. That's entitlement at its finest.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Joseph Tootle.
And Mr. Tootle, you married Ms. Erin Botnick back in September of 2023, is that correct?
That's correct.
How long had you known her prior to y'all's marriage?
Roughly 7 years.
And do y'all work at the same
We do.
company?
We do.
And what is your role at the company, at Envision?
I'm VP of Accounting Information Systems.
Were you her direct supervisor?
No,
And y'all became acquainted through your employment, is that correct?
I knew her prior to employment. I helped her get the job.
Okay, how did you know her prior to the employment?
I met her at her work when she worked at Twin Peaks.
At where?
Twin Peaks
Twin Peaks is a bar
Bar and Restaurant.
and restaurant, and we'll just leave it, why the name of that, but at any rate, you met her there and got her a job. Did y'all start a romantic relationship at that point in time?
I helped her get a job probably about 2 years ago. We kind of hung out some in between there, from time of meeting till she got the job at our company.
And when did y'all become romantically involved?
Throughout the time I've known her, different instances.
And she was having relations with other people during that time too? particularly?
Correct.
And you,
Well, the question is, sustained, it was leading, restretch your question.
are you aware of whether or not, did y'all have an exclusive relationship?
We did not.
At what point in time did marriage come into the picture?
Roughly somewhere in July,
Okay.
after she had had her job.
Okay. Did you ask her to marry, or was it just a, hey, let's do this? I mean, what was the?
We decided to date, and then as we started dating, we decided that after knowing each other for a period of time, that was the right move to make at that time, because she stated she was in love and wanted to be with me.
Okay. And as a result of that, where were you living at the time?
In Franklin
And where was she living?
and Dixon.
And did she have a home?
She had an apartment.
And did you have a home?
I did.
One that you owned?
No, sorry, I was in an apartment as well.
Okay, you rented and she rented. is
She
that
rented and I
correct?
rented, correct.
Okay. And so y'all decided to she professed her love and you hers, and y'all decided to get married, and did you start looking for a place to live?
Started looking for a place prior to that, somewhere in July. We talked about looking for a place, so we were looking prior to being married.
At first, I almost thought she liked him for who he was, not for his money. But then she found out he had enough to buy her a house. And now she's suing him for something she doesn't even own.
Okay. And you found a home on Yellow Creek Highway,
Correct.
okay? And it's a very nice home. And y'all purchased, did you enter into a contract prior
And
to,
don't leave it with us.
when did you enter into a contract to purchase the property?
In August, and I put down earnest money in August.
How much did you put down?
It's $10,000 in earnest money
And then when was the closing scheduled?
for September 26th, roughly 160 plus the 10,000
And where was the source of that money?
came from my income. 120 was in savings, 40 I took a loan against my 401k.
Is there still a loan on the 401k?
Yes. Comes out of my paycheck month.
How much did y'all purchase the home for?
It was 760,
And what is the monthly payments?
4,200. That doesn't include insurance and taxes.
And that's going to be my next, was insurance and taxes escrowed in?
It was not escrowed in.
So other than when you purchased it in September, the down payment that you made, are you familiar with any other increases in value or any improvements to the property that's been made that would increase it significantly from what the purchase price was?
There's been no improvements to the property.
Did both of you sign the mortgage?
I'm the only one on the mortgage.
Do you know why?
It was better to qualify for interest rate under my income than using both.
So even though
That's
the
what-
house is in joint names, the mortgage is only in your name?
Correct.
Now, shortly at, do you know how much she makes?
Roughly,
What is that?
around 22. I knew when she got the job it was around 21, and there's been raises since then.
And how much do you make, sir?
Around to 190.
You've assisted
And
me,
that's without bonus, but bonus isn't guaranteed, so
you have assisted me in filling out an income and expense statement, is that correct?
that's correct.
Could you pass this to me? The officer's gonna pass you one, and Your Honor, we'll mark this for ID purposes at this point in time.
All right.
Could you review that? Does that adequately and reflect what what your income and your expenses are?
Yes,
Everything that's been said about her screams toxic, red flags everywhere, and that's the woman he decided to marry? Lesson learned the hard way.
So again, what you're looking at is you gross about $14,000 a month, is that right?
yes,
Okay. And then the expenses that are spelled out, the rent, the mortgage is $4,200, is that correct?
that's correct.
And how did you come up with the utilities? Are those just an average of what?
That was the average of what we'd had thus far, but again, this was in January, so there's only a couple of months to average it.
Right, so again, you've got the electricity and the gas, you have gas heat, correct?
We have gas, electric, water, yes.
Okay, and so again, with the summer and the air conditioning things, those are likely to go up, is that correct? Do you
So
know
you
what
don't
the,
leave the weather.
I'll rephrase it. Do you think that these will be consistent or will they fluctuate?
Gas will probably go down, electric will probably go up.
Why have you got wife's telephone? Is that just her?
At the time I filed, I was paying her phone bill. She used my credit card multiple times, after I'd paid it once
Okay.
to pay it.
And then again, the rest of these are average expenses, is that right?
That's right. And the only thing on here I haven't been paying is the Tahoe. I stopped paying it in January.
And that's the 1,050, and that's the vehicle
correct.
she's driving. Had you previously paid it?
I'd been paying it since we bought it.
And when was it purchased?
We purchased it in August.
Right before the marriage?
Right before the marriage.
Whose name is it in?
It's in both of our names because she couldn't qualify on her own for it
Okay.
with
And so-
with a good interest rate.
Okay. And so again, looking at that, you're basically barely breaking even if you take away the $1,000.
I was until she started paying her bills.
Okay, until she started paying her bills. Okay. Tell me what's led to you Your Honor, we'll move that in as the next exhibit.
Mark, this
What's
is
led
the
you-
first exhibit, is it not?
Yes, that first one. What's led to you filing this divorce, sir?
We started having issues in October, which was relatively shortly after being married. She even told me that her therapist and her had discovered that through their therapy that she wasn't really in love with me and that she wanted consistency and stability for her kids and thought that she could love me over time. And we kind of wound up back at the same spot.
So she had to go to therapy to figure out she didn't love you? Has she contributed anything financially to this marriage?
Other than groceries for her and her kids, no.
What about has she made any threats towards you?
Multiple.
Tell me about those.
We got into an argument. Coming back
Verbal argument, physical argument, what?
verbal argument. I'm not a physical person. And we talked about, in that argument, divorce came up and she wanted me out of the house. She said she would throw herself against the wall and call the cops, say I did it. That was one occasion. Another occasion, she threatened, or she said she'd call the cops. So I said I'd come to the house, wait for the cops to get there. They never came. Recently, as 2 weeks ago, she said that she was going to call the cops, that I'd hit her in front of her 12-year-old, which obviously I didn't. So multiple times that's happened. To the point where I had to get a camera for the room I stay in to make sure that anything would be videoed to show that I'm not a physical person.
She's so toxic that he had to start recording her just to prove his innocence. Fellas, if you ever reach that point, you're already too deep. Learn from his mistakes.
I
Because,
didn't ask what he did. I asked, why do you want it sold?
Or my client could answer the question.
I agree.
I don't think she's asking the question, she's answering the question. She's saying that he wanted it sold too, but the question is, why does she want it sold? So.
Right. Because that was a house we were married in, and I just, if I'm leaving, then we both move on. I want the house sold. Vindictive like that.
Okay. Well, you put this income and expense statement for whatever the truth of it is, that
Well, I'm
you
Jack
don't have,
argumentative.
you don't have,
Staying on the sidebar comments, don't make sidebar comments.
you're stating that you only have $3,912 a month to support you, your 3 kids, and your mother.
Right,
And you're gonna sell a home that you've not contributed to whatsoever, correct?
right,
And you're going to have that listed for sale, so there's gonna be a sales commission that's gonna be paid on it, correct?
correct,
And then you're going to have capital gains tax on any income that you derived from that, correct? Did you know that?
okay, correct.
And so so again, it's certainly not for financial gain that you think you're gonna sell the house, is it?
Well, the divorce is gonna end us. We're not gonna be together anymore, and I want a fresh start. He will want a fresh start, and I want the house sold.
It's what your income is. But again, you're making $22 an hour.
Right,
So that's 45,000 and some change a year, correct? 45,760 a year.
yes,
So you divide that out, and I divided by 52 weeks, and that's $3,813.
okay.
Where did you, and do you make any overtime or anything else?
No, we're not allowed overtime.
But this income that you've got up here, this monthly income before taxes, does not include the 687, the 780, or the 599, which is an additional $2,066. Isn't that correct?
If that's what you have on there.
Well, you don't have it on there. I added it up. But if you look down at the bottom, monthly court order child support, 687.
And also, it's not consistent. I mentioned why.
You didn't put that on, that's not included in this number, is it?
Is it not?
Is it or is it not? This is what you've introduced as your income, ma'am.
It's not introduced
Okay.
because it's not consistent, because he doesn't have a job half the time, his father.
Well, when was the last time you got it?
Last
Month?
No, let me finish, please. I got it probably back in October of 2023. And I can show proof of that.
Have you instituted any cases against him to try to collect the money?
Well, it's kind of pointless because it's already garnished out of his wages, and it would cost me money that I don't really have to fight him. And
So you would instead let somebody who's not the father of your child support you and provide a home for you than to go get money from the person who's supposed to be supporting that child?
well, he does work sometimes, and when he does, I do get money for Bryson. So, and I'm doing what I can to make sure he has everything he needs.
You're doing what you can.
Right, for my kids.
Have you gotten another job?
No, I have a baby.
And honestly, how about getting a job instead of having more babies? No steady income, 3 kids, and the audacity to demand selling a house she didn't contribute a dime to. It's pure revenge, and even the judge saw right through it.
You knew her for 7 years before you married her, right?
I did.
All right. You helped her get a job,
I did.
and you knew she was carrying another man's child when you married her, right?
She already had the baby when we got
Oh, you
married.
had the baby. So she had
Correct.
3 children by 3 different men, and you knew all of that before you married her.
I did.
So you kind of knew what you were getting into, at least you suspected you knew.
I kind of figured it was a 50-50 whether it was going to work out.
Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So
Stupid, I know.
most men, when they get married, they don't think about 50-50 chance of it working out when they, ask someone to marry them.
I wanted to believe.
Although I would say that with the divorce rate in this country, that's probably not far from the average of what marriages work out and what don't. But my question of this is, You expected there would be problems, I assume.
Yeah, I wanted to believe what she was telling me, that she was past going out and partying, and she was ready to be a family and settle down, and she was looking for
And you
stability.
Cared
And
for
so-
her and you wanted to help her.
And obviously for 8 years, there's something there, you know, I was fed the whole 9 yards.
He tried to save her from her past, but reality hit hard. Even the judge laughed at his decision to marry someone who swore she was done with the streets. If this isn't the definition of a simp, I don't know what is.
Simp! Simp!
The point is that you went into this knowing that there could be problems, right?
I did.
And it turned out there are problems.
Within a couple of weeks, I figured out there was problems.
But you say you still love her.
I do, but I don't think I have the same kind of love that I had before. It's more, I care about her.
All right, that's all. Step down.
Thank you.
That's our proof, Your Honor.
It was testimony that she didn't realize that she didn't really love him until her therapist, I think it was, that told her she didn't really love him. And if she went out and had with 2 other men during the marriage. That is a temporary hearing that is designed to keep the parties in life and limb together until such time as they can conclude this matter after discovery and after mediation takes place. They are both asking for a divorce. So therefore, as was pointed out, whether Ms. Balknick wants to move out of the house or not, right now, that's coming. I mean, you're gonna have to do it sooner or later. Mr. Tootle has indicated that he cares for her children, and his concern is that she may make some false allegation against him while they're continuing to live together. So it's gonna take time for her to move out. The Dixon County school system concludes its school year on what, May 23rd, I think it is?
Yes, sir.
And it is this court's opinion that these parties will continue to cohabit in the marital residence until June 1st. At that point, Ms. Balknick will vacate the property. It is apparent that Mrs. Balknick cannot afford to pay the house payments, and therefore if he is forced to leave, he's going to still have to make the house payments. She has indicated that she wants to sell the house, which obviously indicates she would then have to leave. In the interim period that they reside together, she will pay all payments that she has on her income and expense statement. I have added, she's showing a shortage of her income and expenses that she's negative $1,505.56. So it's clearly more than her expenses are, even considering those expenses, which when I look at, no, and I don't mean this to be harsh, but I don't spend $489 on recreation and entertainment a month. Clothing and personal care, $400 a month. Folks, you're going through a divorce. You're gonna have to tighten up. This is not gonna be the case. Short-term marriages that go through divorce, the court's usually looking to put the parties back in the situation they were in prior to the marriage. It's just that simple. The awarding of alimony or spousal support, absent some compelling circumstances. So I'm just saying, these expenses that are here are gonna have to be looked at. Her car payment of $1,034.27 is fixed. It's gonna have to be paid. She's got cell phones for a 10-year-old. So be it, she'll have to pay for it. Her automobile insurance goes with her car. Her food and groceries are $1,200 a month. She's only going to be required to provide food and groceries for her and her children. He will have to provide food for himself. Laundry and cleaning doesn't seem to be particularly outrageous, but the $400 for clothing and personal care and $489 recreational entertainment may be an area that Ms. Balknick has to kind of reduce. Mr. Tootle will be required to pay those expenses that are shown on his income and expense statement. Right now, he's paying the house mortgage. He wants to keep the house. The issue of any credit that he is to receive from making the payments on a temporary basis, any increase in the equity that might result from that will be reserved for the final hearing in this case. He's providing right now for the next 2 months at least a place for her and the children to reside until June 1st. And that, in my opinion, would justify that. I've taken away the $300 phone bill that she's now going to be required to pay, which means he'll have some small amount. But I also think he's got a greater amount than what's shown on here because there's some flexibility in his income. She is going to be required to pay. And with that being the case, I will put down this further order. These parties are both restrained and prohibited from involving law enforcement in any way, shape, form, or fashion against one another to gain an advantage in this divorce action or to seek to have the other removed from the home. A violation of this order will be contempt of court. I'm just simply saying that. I'm not saying you would do that, but I'm saying there's been some allegation that you were going to call the police. There's some reason he might, but I'm simply saying you can't do that under this order. And as a result of that, if something happens and it turns out that somebody violates that order, they're looking at 10 days in jail for even doing that, making that type of report. If there is any indication of violence in the home, you must come to this court, file an application for an order of protection with the Chancery Court of Dixon County, Tennessee, so you will have that protection. And if you feel threatened or you have the right to apply to this court for an order of protection. They will present it to me personally for me to review, since I'm the one who's hearing this case, and I'll determine whether or not there is a need for an order of protection.
At the end of the day, loyalty isn't about love, it's about character. Fellas, choose wisely, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.